to the league. You're joined here with your host, David Magid, my co-host, Benoit Tandem. And today, it's Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. And we're about to give you 5 minutes of the absolute best news topics within the renewable energy sector. 300-second countdown starting now. First piece of information that we're going to discuss is this groundbreaking loan guarantee that the DOE has issued. And the DOE's office has provided this guarantee commitment, $1.45 billion to Qcells, to complement their facility that's being developed in Georgia. This facility, that is going to be constructed, we're talking 2,000 full-time jobs, 1,200 construction jobs. At the same time, this facility, once operational, 3.3 gigawatts annually is going to be coming out of here. What's the most amazing part is this is the first facility in over 10 years where the entire solar manufacturing facility is taking place vertically integrated. We're talking about the ingots, we're talking about the wafer solars, everything incorporated into here. Next topic that we're going to be speaking about is LS Power. LS Power, some great, amazing news. Their recent fund had just closed in July. This fund's $2.5 billion target, oversubscribed, $2.7 billion. Absolutely amazing. Hats off to these folks. We got 3 gigawatts of operating projects, 8 gigawatt development pipeline spanning 12 states, 4 Providence, and 5 US markets. And Benoit, that's that.
That's amazing, Dave. Thank you for that. And the big news that's really rocked the renewable energy world was SunPower has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This actually happened on August 6th, so it's been a few weeks since it happened. If you're not familiar with SunPower, they're a rooftop solar installer. They're known for their high efficiency panels that were made in the US. The reason why they went bankrupt is that the residential solar sector has been walloped by high interest rates, leaving depressed demand. And SunPower actually had a lot of their business in California. If you're familiar with what happened in California last year, they went from NEM 2 to NEM 3, which severely decreased the tariff that you got if you sold solar back into the grid. And I think more than 50% of their business was in California. So that as well. And this left companies with having too much inventory on hand. Also, the company faced allegations of misconduct in its reporting practices. They're in the process now of planning to sell its assets to meet the liabilities or the money that they owe. The next big thing is actually an interesting article that came out on The Economist, which came out published on September 1st. It's called Clean Energy's Next Trillion-Dollar Business. Grid-scale batteries are taking off at last. If you're not familiar with grid-scale batteries, obviously solar and wind are very intermittent forms of power, and they need storage to make it make sense, because obviously if the sun's not shining or there's no wind, still you need power. And this is the way of actually renewable energy competing with base load power. And what's really driving this grid scale battery, I guess, renaissance, you could call it, is a plunge in the price of lithium batteries, which is fueling the adoption. According to Bloomberg New Energy Finance, their research group, the average price of a stationary lithium battery per kilowatt hour of storage fell by around 40% between 2009 and 2023, which is huge. And we saw declines like this when it came to solar panels back when solar was getting big for adoption. But they're actually saying that lithium batteries are going faster, decreasing in costs than solar panels did maybe 5 to 7 to 10 years ago. We're all familiar, or a lot of us are familiar with the International Energy Association, the IEA, their official forecaster, and they say that battery storage will need to rise from less than 200 gigawatts last year now to more than a terawatt by the end of this decade, which is only 6 years away. And then by 2050, that will have 5 terawatts of battery storage, which is why they're saying it's the next $1 trillion business. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed 5 minutes of the best information of the latest clean energy trends. Please promote, like, give us 5 stars, and become a subscriber. Thank you for listening.